Hello and good afternoon, guys. Welcome to MK Convenience Brokerage. My name is Mohammed. In this video, I'm going to explain to you how to properly fill out an application for a federal firearm license. Now, for those of you that don't know what this is, so this basically is a federal firearm license from the United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. So if you're trying to get a federal firearm dealer license, curio and relics and stuff like that, this is where you have to go. Today I'm going to concentrate mostly on curio and relics. That's something that people usually do. Curio and relics is something like if you're like a guy that wants to collect antique guns and only to collect, not to sell, you may do so as well. And that's one of the simplest ones that you can do so far. I'm going to explain to you step by step what to do and how to fill out the application. So the part is really simple. So obviously I'm going to go over it. It's 12 pages. I'm going to go over step by step what the most important part is. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to fill out and what you don't need to fill out. So this application is what? So obviously if you're doing it yourself, you're going to do individual. Licenses name. So obviously if you're the person it is, so you're going to put down your names. For example, John Doe. Trader business. If you obviously don't have any, and this is for individual license, you don't have a trader business name. And obviously you're not going to have an EIN number. This is for those people that do have a business. Name of county in which business activity is located. Again, if this is for curio and relics, if you're an individual, you don't need to fill this out. Business/activity address. You could put down your home address. So you can put down 222 anywhere street. And obviously I'm just making it up. Brooklyn, New York, 11222. You can make anything up. Obviously, if it's your same as before, or you could just type it up. Same as business address, or you could just put down. Now, obviously, if you don't have a business address, you can leave it. But if you always just put the mailing address. It tells you mailing address is different from address in item 6. Obviously, if you do have a business address, it's going to be different. Mailing address is different. Now, obviously, if you only have a mailing address, you could just put this as well. Whatever the mailing address will be over here. Contact number. Obviously, again, if you have a business, you're going to put your activity number. If not, just put your cell phone number. And if your email, just put the email over here. Going down to number 9, describe the specific activity application is engaged in. Again, if you're going to be doing the sale of ammunition and stuff like that, that's different. If not, then you're going to be curio and relics. Buying antique guns. 10, application is made for a license number 18 U.S. Chapter. Place and X. Are you dealing in firearms? You're gonna be this. Where is it? Here you go. Collector of curio and relics. No, this is not a license to conduct business. It tells you right there. $30. Now, as you can see, there's other options. For example, if you're dealers in firearm, that's $200. If you're a pawnbroker in firearm, that's another $200. If 30. Manufactured ammunition for firearms, other than ammunition for destructive device, that's $30. Again, these are other things. Dealers in destructive device, that's $3,000. Now it gets a little bit expensive for 30. And obviously your total fee is gonna be whatever it's gonna be. Method of payment, obviously how you're gonna be paying this by. If you're gonna be paying by Visa, you put down your credit card, name printed on your credit card, expiration date, address, city, state, and zip code. Please complete to ensure payment is credited to the correct applicant. I am paying the application fee for the following person. You could do that as well. Some people could do it, but if you're yourself, you just put your information. Signature of card holder and date. But once you're done with this, you go back, you go down to page 2. Hours of operation or availability of business activity. Please provide at least 1 hour in which you could be contacted by ATF personnel. They do a background check on you, obviously. Don't lie. So, you don't want to tell, you don't want to lie to them, say that, you're a curio and relics person, but then you start to sell firearm because now you think you got the license. Just don't lie to them. Whichever license you apply for, that's what you're going to be conducting your stuff from. Now, obviously, hours of operation is you can just tell them, you know what, I'm available Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 9 to 5, and just put that down. Number 12, if you're applying only if you're type 3 collectors of curio and relics, skip item 13 to 17, and go items 18. For all other license type, continuing with item 13. Now, again, if you're applying for curio and relics, you don't have to answer 13 to 17. These questions are not supposed to be answered if you're only applying for that. But if you're not, you will fill out. For example, was the business obtained from someone else? If yes or no, then you're going to put that down. If you are a person such as a pawnbroker, you bought a business for somebody else, you're gonna fill that part out. For example, name of previous business and federal firearm license number, such as the old business might have it. If it's gonna be no, then obviously you're not gonna fill it out. Indicate type of business premises, zoned residential. What is it? Is it a single family dwelling, condominium? Is it a commercial, storefront, office? Again, this is a federal firearm license all over the United States. Some people conduct business from home while other people conduct business from office or stuff like that. Number 15. Applicant business premises, own premises, or a military installation. Again, whatever it is. Rental lease premises, provide name and telephone number of the property owner. Obviously, again, if you're renting a place, you're gonna need the name, the street address, the telephone, and the city, state, and zip code. Number 16 to 17. Do you intend to sell firearms at a gun show and conduct internet sale? Yes or no? Do you intend to use your license only to acquire firearms to enhance your personal collection? Yes or no? Name of chief law enforcement officers. Please print the name of the CLEO to whom a copy of this application was provided. You're technically supposed to get this application to your law enforcement officer or your chief law enforcement officer. Address of chief law enforcement officer is going to be the one conducting it. So basically, once you do this, they usually try to do an investigation on it. Attention, chief law enforcement officer. This is basically what this is. They're letting them know, look, I'm applying for it. I'm also letting you know. It's kind of like a courtesy thing. Now, it doesn't have to be a chief. It doesn't have to be a supervisor. It could be a sergeant. It could be a lieutenant. Whoever it is at the precinct. They're supposed to vouch for you. Applicant certification. And obviously, please read and initial each box. You're obviously supposed to read this. For example, this business activity to be conducted under the federal firearm license is not prohibited by state or local law at the premises shown in item number 6. This includes compliance with zoning ordinance. Please contact your local zoning department prior to submitting the application. You obviously initials everything. 21. Obviously this is what you're saying, that under the penalty of perjury, you're telling everything but the truth, but nothing but the truth, and whatever it is, you print your name, first name, middle, last, applicant signature, date. Check application status. This is for ATFUs only, which means that you don't do anything. Go on the bottom. Part B, responsible person questionnaire. Now, each responsible person must complete and sign a separate questionnaire. In the future, if you need to add an additional responsible person to your FFL, the RP being added to my complete in this Part B responsible person questionnaire. If adding a responsible person to an existing license, be sure to include a signed application. So, responsible person questionnaire is basically saying that if something happens, is there any responsible person? You could use yourself. I know people have done that. You're a responsible person. You basically put in your name, your federal firearm license number. Obviously, if you don't have it, you don't leave it. If you don't have that, let's say for example, if you have a friend, you could put down your friend's information. License, your applicant name of responsible person. Obviously, this should be your information. This is the name of the responsible person, their position, their social security number, the date of birth, the place of birth, current address, telephone number, email address. So, but usually, if obviously you should put yourself because you're the responsible person. So all this information you should be the person. But sometimes you could always put the other person as a responsible person as well, because you could do the application for somebody else. So keep that in mind. Please provide every address you have lived in the past 5 years and dates which you lived. So let's say the 5 years you lived in one address, and just put that. But if you lived in multiple addresses, then they need that information. And obviously, sex, height, weight, ethnicity, race, eye color, hair color, all needs to be filled out. This is you. These are questions, basically yes and no. For example, I'll read the first 3. Have you ever held a firearm federal license? Yes or no. So if obviously this is a new application, this is no. Have you ever been a responsible person on a federal firearm license? Yes or no. Have you ever been an officer in corporation holding? Yes or no. Have you ever been an employee with federal license? So all these questions are basically saying that if you have one of them. So if not, then obviously everything should be no. But if some of them is yes, then please you gotta give that explanation. Country of citizenship, you could be the United States, or you could have citizenship in other countries. Have you ever been renounced your citizenship status? No. Are you an alien illegally or unlawfully in the United States? No. Are you an alien who has been admitted to the United States under a non-immigrant visa? No. So these are yes or no questions, obviously. If you are an alien, record your U.S. citizen or admission number. Obviously, if you are, then that's the stuff. Again, you sign, you print, you date. You go over here. Again, each responsible person must complete and sign a separate questionnaire for 77CR Part B. And obviously, like I said, if this is for curing relics, you don't need to do that. For example, Type 3 applicant, a photograph, and fingerprint are not required if you're applying for a Type 3 collector of curios and relics. You don't need that. But if you're not, you do need a photograph, 2x2 photograph, and obviously you do need to have to take within the last 6 months. My photograph must show just like a passport photo. You know, the head, the covering. There should be no obstruction. Your hair, everything should be visible. No glasses. You know, just like how you take a passport photo, you're gonna do the same exact thing. Use the same standard. No color in the picture. A 2x2 white passport photo, and that's it. And on the back of the photograph, you can write your full name, your last 4 digits of social security number, and your business address. For curing relics, you don't need that. These are other stuff, introductions and everything. Obviously, you could read through this on your own. It's a lot of information. And obviously, this is the same application, just going over everything. And basically, once you're done, that's it. You just mail it to them. For example, the curing relics is $30. You mail the application, push, they'll get it, and they'll process it. I believe it does take about 3 to 4 months to process, but it does take a lot of time to do that. With that being said, that's about it. Thank you again, guys, for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys learned something from this. If you guys have any other questions, comment, concern, please comment, like, subscribe. I'll try my best to help you as much as possible to clarify any confusion you guys have. Thank you again, guys, for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it.